What's going on, everyone? Blue Kuma here, and today I'm going to be talking about the CVS2 versus POS tier list, or currently, like, what's the meta of the game. This is made by the UNT team. Thanks for Extravagant and Zanzis and everyone else collaborating for this project. And I've had a head start. I'll explain these right now. Guy is S plus, has a lot of tools, has a few extra moves he usually doesn't have. He has really good ground control. He has like a priority. Go Nico is S plus as well. Actually, I will bump her up to broken almost because she's essentially a boss character. I almost put her at band here because she's basically the female version of Gwenta's, but even better, she even has like a genocide cutter, and her projectiles are even better because you can actually do more zone control. Subjectively, in my opinion, she should be a band character, but it is what it is. Mr. A's Ryu, especially thinking about Evil Ryu, he has a lot of tools. He basically has an answer for everything. The best shoulder you can possibly get. For, but I wouldn't say he's broken. Nash A, CVS2 Nash does have some really good damage, a lot of good pressure. He's basically a CVS2 Gao, but even better. His DP does a lot more damage. There's almost If you're doing singles, there's almost no reason why to pick CVS2 Guile when you could just pick CVS2 Nash. CVS2 being at B tier, I think that he is a little bit better version of the original game. He has Street Fighter 3 level 3 of him doing the ground shake and everything. And that could be useful for some things. And he even has some exclusive combos that wasn't in CVS2. CVSR Saga. I'm thinking about just putting all of the reimagined characters on C. They all have a decent amount of tools, but to think about at the end of the day, they're not as good as CVS2 or almost even POTS. They're almost just about even with POTS characters for the most part. And then Ryu being at D tier for obvious reasons. I think even though he has some extra stuff like doing sweep to DP, he's still the same as CVS2 Ryu, where he's not really the best version of Ryu you can get, and you can compare it to Burhanda's Ryu and even Mr. A Ryu. They are just much superior than CVS2 Ryu. Next up is CVS2 Bison, or Dictator, putting this boy right up to S+, just like CVS2. If you know about CVS2 Dictator, you know why. You know exactly why he's on S+. Next up is going to be Cammy, CVS2 Cammy. Not too many players use her, but if I was to imagine where she would be, especially with the meta, I think she would be at B tier, especially her being really similar to CVS2. Not the best character in the CVS2, but she's also really annoying to deal with at times. So I think she's at a good spot with B. Captain Commando, no one uses them, I don't know. I don't know about her. CVS2 Chun has really good pokes, but does lack certain options compared to the top tiers in CVS2. I think I might put on the same spot at B just because of her poking game. With the rest of with the Kuma and Kami CVS2 version, I think that's just about a fair spot for her. Dark Sakura, we've seen her at the tournament recently. She is going unbroken. DP doesn't say any damage. She's essentially CVS2 Sakura, but even better somehow. And she was doing almost 80% chip with A grooves, so I think she deserves to be at broken tier. DeCapre, really similar to her SF4 incarnation, has a lot of decent tools. Lacks EX moves, but she also has everything she needs. And her main game, especially if you use N groove, you can just keep on popping meter, or even S groove, you could keep on popping meter and just keep on activating the sphere. So I think she will be at A. Has a lot of good tools, good super, really good utility. CVS2 DJ, not a lot of people use him. He's kind of like similar to like SF4 DJ. He just lacks a certain amount of tools. He really can't carry out too much damage. So I'm gonna put DJ on D tier. CVS2 Dimitri. No one really uses him either, and I don't really use him that much, so I'm gonna put him at I don't know. Oh, dude, he's a Good April Fool's character. Has a lot of decent tools for rush down play. Has a command grad level 3. But I say he's about C's here. Lacks in zoning and he could get outpoked. Dizzy. Daisy was banned. She is pretty annoying to deal with. Has a lot of good options for being a Guilty Gear character in a CVS2 style. But without putting on broken or banned because of the recent events of the update, I think I'll put Dizzy on S. And I'm going to look for GM real quick because I think it's the same opinion. Like, the Guilty Gear conversions really do have a big advantage against a lot of the CVS2 characters. If I can find her. Where's May? Oh, shoot. I can't find her. Where is she? I'm going to look for her real quick because I'm going to put her at the same spot for the same reasons. You know what? I'll worry about that later. Once we get to her, you guys will know where she would go. CVS2 Fei Long. I'm going to put him on D because there's a really good reason why. And that should be because if we look for him again, whenever there's the POS version of Fei Long, everyone will know why. Goddess Athena, banned. Geese, CVS2 Geese, good, same as CVS2, good pokes. Has Raging Storm, Deadly Rave, good counters. Plays decent, plays about the same along with the rest of the cast. I think I'll also put him on A. I think Geese on A is a good spot for him. Gen, no one really uses Gen that much, so I'm gonna put him right here. Guile, I'm gonna put him a tier below Nash because it's the same reason that I said about Nash. If you might as well pick Nash over Guile, but Guile is still a really solid character and he's a good pair on the ratio system. You put rather Guile on point or Charlie on point, then you put either or on vice versa on mid. They're essentially dealing with two almost of the same character, but one of them being a little bit better than the other. CVS2 Hamaru. I think he's a C tier. Very bare bones. Pretty good on ratio 4. But not much to it. A really good poke character, but that's all he really has. CVS2 Hayato. Seeing a little bit of him, but not too much for me to say anything about him. I'm gonna put him on I don't know. CVS2 Hugo. Now this character I think is B. Because yeah, he's really slow and heavy, but once he gets in hard. He's definitely a huge gimmick character compared to the other Hugo versions, like in Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter Cross Tekken. He's definitely more of a gimmick character. He takes the character archetype of Hugo and basically enhances it. Oh, excuse me. So, B spot for him. Ingrid. Ingrid has some decent stuff. She's not bad. She's basically a pretty good Shoto for the most part. She has a Tatsu, DP, and a Fireball. They got good arc, really good pokes. I think I'm going to put her on B. I think B is a good spot. Has a lot of safe normals. Can play mid-range and close range pretty well. And has a counter too. Ahora, I'm not too sure about her. No one really uses her. CVS2 Jotaro is very interesting. I like the character concept, but I just don't think he does really well at all when it comes to the meta. I think he lacks in a lot of combos that he's supposed to have. He can't do links that well like in the original game. And he doesn't have that stand super where he could just do customizable input and have the stand do those inputs. He doesn't have that, which is which shows this game plan a lot. So I think I'm going to put him on, I think he's going to be up for his trash tier. I think he requires a lot of buffs, including just adding some more stuff and being able to have more combo opportunities. CVS2 Cunning. I think C. CVS2 Ken. With Violent Ken, too, I think he's an A. The best shadow out of the three in CVS2. Has crazy kicks and all that, and he also has the Violent Ken, which is almost just as good. And has a Rabu Super as well with Violent Ken. So we put that into the mix. I think he belongs in A. Kim. I think Kim will be in C tier. He's not really nothing special, but he's not too bad. Yeah, put him right there. This motherfucker. Put him right here. Has a lot of tools, almost has an answer for everything. Has a full screen command throw that gives her combos right after. Has really good supers, has really good pokes. Putting Master of the Fist over here. Lilith, I don't know about. Kyo. Kyo's pretty good. Has a lot of combo opportunities. Has pretty good mix. And has an unblockable, so I'm gonna put him S plus because of that unblockable. But after the patch, I think he'll be in like an A. But for now, he's on S plus because of the unblockable. String. Armika, another gimmick character in my opinion, but definitely not as good as Hugo. In my personal opinion. Putting on our D. Rock Howard. Putting him on B. Regal. I'll put him on B as well. Very solid. CVS2 Sagai, we know where he's gonna go. Top of S plus. I forgot her name, but I'd say she's like a C tier. She's not too bad. She's like a female version of Yukio. Essentially, I'll put her on top of C because she's better than Homaru. Mr. Karate. I think, is he banned? Not sure. I'm gonna put him, I don't know. Because I don't know if he's banned or not. Silver. A gimmick character. B. I think he's a good, solid at B. Has a really good level 3. Shingo. Gonna put him C. Sogini. I'm gonna put him on A. It has really good normals. Very far frame range, almost full screen, but it has a solid DP. But once you get in on her, she can't really do much. More CVS2R. I'm going to put them universally as C. Well, actually, Dan is going to be on D, because he's Dan. And actually, CVS Reimagined Balrog is actually the best out of them, in my opinion. I think he's going to go on B. CVS2 Terry with M Grove, he's not too bad. Putting on B, he has good pokes, just like CVS2, but a little better. Has a little bit more combo routes. T-Hawk. Gonna put T-Hawk on... I actually don't know much about him either. US Marine. Essentially better than both Guile and Nash, so I'm putting him on S. He has chain combos on EX Groove. Chang ain't bad at all. Chang is actually pretty damn good. He's fun to use. But I think he'll be on C. Now I think we're on to more past characters, I believe. I think Zangief is CVS2. I think Zangief is C tier. Has pretty good buttons, but he loses to keep away and pokes a lot in the neutral. You essentially have to get lucky with him. She is pretty annoying to deal with, but she's not really nothing special. She's good as an online character, but nothing too special if offline. Pretty easy to deal with, honestly. If it's on an offline setting. Yuri. She's not bad, but she's not the best. I think she's a little bit better than Ryu, but worse than Akuma. So I'm putting her at C. More CVS2, CVS Reimagined. Yeah, all these, all of them are kind of like C in my opinion. Like they're not bad, they're not too good though, and they all have unique attributes. But the only like really solid reimagined character in my opinion is Balrog or Boxer. So I'm just gonna put them all at C. Divine Wolves Akuma. He is essentially almost the same as CVS2, but CVS2 Akuma is a little bit better due to damage. Angel. If you're really good with her, she's an A, but most players, she's a C. CVS2 Balrog. Essentially a better version of CVS Reimagined. Oh, that's Paz actually. That's Paz Balrog. I say they're about even. I forgot that it's Paz Balrog. They don't. It's just they don't have a CVS2 one, so I'm gonna put them in the same spot really. Divine Wolves Bison. He is just CVS2 Bison, but a little bit worse. Put him on A. Blanca. Pretty good. Essentially CVS2, but has a little bit more tools that is in his arsenal. I'm gonna put him on A also. I think if there was a CVS2 Blanca, he would be on S. CVS2 Cammy. I mean, not CVS2 Cammy. Paz Cammy. See, about the same. But CVS2 doing a little bit more damage, but their game plan is overall the same. Paz Chun-Li. Oops, where did I put her? Oh no. Okay. Paz Chun-Li. In my opinion, they're about the same too. It's just like the same thing as before, where like CVS2 is just a little bit better. So because of damage and EX groove, so I'm gonna put her right next to each other, just like with Cammy. Cloud. Putting Cloud on S. Even all the nerfs and all that, he's still really solid. He almost has an answer for everything. Almost S plus, but not quite. I'm gonna move Guy to S as well. There we go. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Cody. He's kind of mid. He's not really nothing special. In my opinion, he doesn't really have tools that be over at the top tier characters. But he's also not bad, so I'm gonna put him on C. Past DJ is a little bit better than CVS2 DJ, so I'm gonna put him on C for EX moves. This is the only case where I think that the Paz version of DJ is actually better than the CVS2 version. CVS2 Dan, Ultimate Trash Tier. I think the CVS Reimagined Dan is better, so that's why he's on D, and playing CVS2 on Ultimate Trash. Dudley, also D tier. Oh, there's Paz Fei Long. I'm gonna put him on A. Really good custom combo routes. His main game plan is just that. You just need a lot of meter for him. You basically have to play him on anchor or mid. Eliza. She is essentially, I think she's like Geese, but like a little bit worse. I think so. Like she has, oh no, she has Genocide Cutter too. What the fuck? It's also Divine Wolf. Don't know too much about her, so I'm gonna put her on, I don't know, Genjuro. Don't know much about him either. Not a lot of people use him. Past version of Homaru. Put them right next to each other, but a little bit better due to Rage. And having a bunch of other mechanics. This is another situation where I think that the past version is a little bit better. Actually, gotta put him a low B. He has more potential. Frost's Gil. I think he is an A tier. A lot of good combo routes. Can do a lot of damage. And it's basically a better version of SF5 Gil in most situations. But he's not as broken as like the boss version of him in Street Fighter 3, or not as good as these characters on the very top. He does lack in defense. Goken, since he's very similar to SF4, and like he can deal with a lot of answers. He has a lot of answers for a lot of things, but he's also pretty slow and has to rely on certain normals most of the time, which can be predictable. So I'm gonna put on B. Strider, I think Strider's on A. The only reason why he's on A is because he needs 2 meters at all times for Ouroboros. Infinite Ibuki, gonna put her on A as well. Really good super. Has a really good react. It's like depending on the reactions with parries, she could just do parry to super. Does about 30 or 40%, even on ratio 1. Past version of Yori. I think he's on B. He's still missing a couple of stuff, like his light kick being not being a low and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put on B. But he's still a really good rushdown character. Jin. I think Jin is also, I say like B to A. Has a good amount of answers. Also has the Demon Dash. Has pretty good mix-ups and solid supers. So I say he's on B, but he's not like busted or anything. Joe's really solid too, but I say he's like more like C. I think that he, like in my personal opinion, he's on B, but like I think that there needs to be more players using him to really fully determine whether he's like on B or an A. But I'll put him on C. Don't know much about him. Julie, I think she's pretty bad. Pause cutting. Where is the other cutting? Because it's basically the same situation like before. Gonna put it right over here. There we go. Kazuya. Don't know much about him. Pascan. Almost the same situation in my opinion again. It's like the same theme. It's like where I think the CVS2 version is just better. But they're very similar. King. It's King. It's CVS2 King. You're not many buffs or anything like that, so I think she's pretty bad. K-Dash. K-Dash, I think he has potential. I'm gonna put on mid, but like seeing what he can do from the tournament and stuff like that, I think he has potential. Has pretty good routes, good pokes, but I don't think I can say that he's B or A yet. Kula, don't know about her. Kyosuke, I think he's D. Nothing special about him. Has pretty bad buns. Berhenna's Ryu. Still better. I mean, actually, no, they're the same. I think, no, I'll put Berhenna's Ryu on us. Almost just as good as Mr. Sasuke's, but Mr. Sasuke's is a little bit better. Poison. Weird fucking character. She's a Shoto, but nothing too special about her. So I'm gonna put her on C. Kyo requires some work for him, but once he gets this game plan going, he's like a B tier. Don't know. Robert has really good combo routes, really good pokes. Could get in pretty easily with his buns. I think he's like a high B in my opinion. Rolento, a better version of CVS2, and has way more combo routes, able to get in more, has links. Buns are better overall. I think it's a B tier. Raging Rowan. I mean, not Raging Romans. Karma Chameleons. Rugal. I think I'll put them on. Again, same. I think it's almost the same thing. It's just like they're both just as good, but I think CVS2's version is just a little bit better, just because of the things I explained before. Divine Wolves the God. This is the only case where I say like the versions of them are completely separated. Like CVS2 version is way better than the Paz version. The Paz version of Sagat is not bad. Vado Haze, Sakura. I think has a good combo route and stuff too, and has good pokes, and can do a lot of damage with her air grab ender. I'm gonna put her on A. One of the better shotos in the game. Shinakuma, Broken / Banned. Skullomania, not too much is known about him. Sub-Zero, no one uses Sub-Zero. Terry. This one's tough. I think I'll put him high C because, I mean, I think, no, I'll put him right there. I think he's on low B with CVS2 Terry. They're good. They're both good in different ways. I think they're just about even. Urian. See. He needs better Aegis setups and all that. Like he's... Actually, no, I'll put him on fucking D. I don't think it's that good. Other than just his combo routes, but they're pretty hard to get in this kind of style of a game. And Aegis is not reliable enough, in my opinion. I think Aegis is pretty bad in this game. And what's the point of picking Urian when you got Gil, which is all the way up in A? Tia is another Shoto, but she's pretty mid. Everything. Not too great bonus, but not too terrible. Projectile DP. Game plan is pretty predictable. Claw. Really not as good as CVS2 at all. So I'm gonna put him on C. High C. Like, he's not the worst. But if there was a CVS2 claw, he would get destroyed by that claw. Hands down. The twins. Yoon? I say Yoon? Yoon has potential. He could be on A. Did a good engine and all that fun stuff in his mix-ups. And Yang I'll put on B. And then this character, I've seen her a couple of times. She's not too bad. I think she's also C. But yeah, that's going to be my tier list. This is all the characters I don't really know about. I think there needs to be more studies overall. But like, this is my trash tier right here. D tier. C tier. B tier. A tier. S tier. S plus. And broken. So that's going to be do it for my tier list. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe for more content. And peace out.